The podcast is back. It's back from the dead. And to celebrate, we're going to watch Addams Family. This week on the Why Is This a Cartoon Cast? Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Why Is This Cartoon Cast. It's the only show on the internet where we take a look at animated adaptations and ask the essential question. Hey, why is this a cartoon? I am your host, Joey. Joining me as always is Tim.
Yo.
Tim, we're back.
Yeah, my bad. I got my foot caught in a radiator.
Back on our brief several month hiatus.
Well, don't worry. There's plenty more of those to come as we kind of forget to record the podcast. Anyway.
Yes. Yes, we've decided to get back on the old proverbial horse. Hop off the literal horses that we were on. We were both out horse riding in the West.
It was nice.
That's over now.
Yeah.
And we came back. We decided to pull the podcast from the depths of Hades. The podcast was floating down the ether.
Yeah.
It was falling. Hades was reaching up himself. He was saying, "Come to me, podcast." And we said nay, and we reached down and we grabbed it. And then we're going to cut the thread of the podcast's life a la Hercules, the animated movie. And we said no.
Okay.
It cut.
Okay,
and
Joey.
We brought the podcast back,
Joe.
and we came back to Tim's apartment, and now we're here. We're gonna record this. I'm gonna cut all that shit out.
No, don't cut that out. just have a sip of beer and let's just keep this going. Like keep that in.
The podcast is back.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable future.
Yep. Until I move to Las Vegas.
Until Tim moves to Las Vegas, and then it's gonna become a crappy Skype cast which nobody likes.
No, nobody ever likes those. They're pretty ass. I can't wait. It's going to be great.
No, we'll figure it out. But that's an issue for next year. This year, and this day on this year, we're going to be talking about the Addams Family cartoon.
Mm-hmm. So, about the Addams Family.
Addams Family, as everybody knows, the classic entertainment umbrella started with the comic, the newspaper comic by Charles Addams.
Yes.
Adapted, as everybody knows, in the classic television series. There were those 90s movies.
Which were great.
Addams Family Values was great.
I like the first one too, but the second one, actually, honest to God, is my actual favorite. Because the whole thing with the camp storyline always gets me giggling.
Who was Wednesday Addams in that? Was that
Christina Ricci? Christina Ricci. Yeah. Oh my God! So
that was a childhood crush right there.
Same, total. Like, so her and Winona Ryder as Lydia Dietz were my two. I wanted to be in the middle of a goth sandwich.
I want them spooky girls.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not the one who's underage when we're talking about it.
Yeah, like, I want grown up Wednesday Addams and grown up Lydia Dietz. How's that sound? Like, I want like Morticia Addams, Wednesday Addams.
Is Christina Ricci even alive anymore?
Yeah, she's alive. She did that movie Black Snake Moan where her tits are out the whole time.
That was like 15 years ago. That was Brittany Murphy, wasn't it?
No, that was Christina Ricci.
Oh, they're pretty similar.
It might have been Charlie Murphy.
Hey, that's not what he sounds like. That was the worst Charlie Murphy impression ever, and I'm so sorry. We're gonna have to cancel the podcast again.
Oh, thank God! I don't have time for this shit.
Hey, everybody, we're back.
So
what? The cartoon was 92.
Yeah.
When were the movies?
The movies were right around the same time.
Yeah,
like 92 and 94, I think they were.
Were they? But like, were the success of the cartoons the reason for? The success of the movies the reason for the cartoon is what I'm asking.
I think the success of the first movie was the reason for the cartoon, because there was like kind of a.
Well, now we have to friggin' Google when this stupid movie came.
We don't have to Google. We'll just let the listeners Google when that happens.
Our third host, Google.
Yeah.
When did the first Addams Family movie come out? Well, it's not going to read it out loud. But November 22nd, 1991.
Wow.
And when did the cartoon come out, Tim?
92. The actual date?
Yes. No, make up a date that works for the timeline.
September 12th, 1992. So they would have had time to make the whole first season after the first movie was
They had 10 months to put it together. That doesn't seem right.
It might have been like
it might have been in the works.
Like they might have had like the pilot and ready to go, and like they were like, okay, let's. The movie was a hit. We're gonna greenlight this, and over the course of the next 10 months, we're going to get those.
10 months is not enough time for Koreans to put together. Well, who made the cartoon?
Funimation.
Oh, so they what?
I read
The anime company?
No, I'm completely wrong. It's Warner Brothers.
It's Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers has some clout, man. They could probably kick together a whole season of cartoons together in like 6 months. Why did I say Funimation? Oh, because I read animation and my brain like did that thing where I get 2 hours of sleep and I read the words wrong.
How long was this cartoon out for?
Till November 6th, 1993. So it's only 2 seasons.
A little over a year?
Yeah, 2 seasons, 21 episodes. It was not animated in South Korea, everybody.
You don't know.
No, it says that.
Oh, it specifically said this was not created in South Korea?
No, it told me the country of origin, though.
What's the country of origin?
Philippines.
Really?
Yeah.
No, but the reason I asked if the cartoon was based on the movies is because the character designs are not similar to the original Charles Addams comics.
They're actually closer to the new Scooby-Doo movie ones.
What new Scooby-Doo movie?
That's what they used to call that series, where they would have all the characters on, like Mama Cass and all them. The Addams Family was in a few episodes of it, and they're actually very similar to those ones.
What's the timeline for that?
That's like late 70s. Mid to late 70s.
Well, anyway.
Because Hanna-Barbera. You know, everybody had to meet up with Scooby-Doo, including Malamut and stuff.
And Mama Cass. Choking on that ham sandwich.
Well, she was only eating grapefruit. Don Knotts was in an episode, too. Dude, Don Knotts was in an episode.
What was Mama Cass doing while Don Knotts was in that episode?
She was in a different episode.
What was she doing?
I don't remember. There was some kind of mystery with her.
Choking on a ham sandwich.
I'm not going to say choking on a ham sandwich.
What was that one Mamas and the Papas song? It's the time.
Mamas and the Papas?
For love. That's not it. That's the Zombies.
Yeah.
What's that stupid?
Mamas and Papas? Mamas and the Papas song? I don't know.
Oh, shucks.
All the leaves are gone.
All the leaves are brown. And the sky is gray. And the sky is gray.
I went for a walk.
I went for a walk.
On a winter's day.
On a winter's day.
I'd be safe and warm.
I'm safe and warm.
If I was in L.A.
If I was in L.A.
California Dreamin'. That's the name of the song. We had to get that far to find it.
Oh, we're so back.
Oh my god, this is great. Like, this episode's gonna be mostly filler, and I don't mind.
What filler? This is so dense.
Actually,
if you're planning on packing this one with filter, the next episode's screwed.
Yeah, that's true. We'll pack.
We need the filter for that one.
Yeah, let's do filler for the next episode. But because we both love the Addams Family, I know we do.
I'm a fan. I love the movies. I love the old TV series.
The old TV series was great.
Classic.
Though Uncle Fester in this cartoon was very similar to Uncle Fester from the original TV series, though. Although he liked to get blown up a little more, and he was a little more on the extreme side.
Yeah, that was.
Like, Uncle Fester was, like, disturbing. He was bored. Like, he almost felt like Stimpy to me.
All of them. Yeah, he's definitely had that roundness.
Yeah, he was a very round character that very violent things happened to, and he enjoyed them. Therefore, he gave me a Stimpy vibe.
Like, I remember the show from my childhood. I enjoyed it. But, like, I haven't watched it in a while, so I don't know if, like, they were constantly talking about, like, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to get run over by cars. I'm going to eat paint or whatever.
That was Uncle Fester's thing.
Constantly, though?
Yeah, every time he was on screen, he was talking about something violent happening.
It's wild. Did Christopher Lloyd do that, too?
No.
Oh.
I mean, he did more fun.
1.21 gigawatts. Do you know how many ham sandwiches we can make?
Nice callback, bro.
Callback to what?
Mama Cass joking on ham sandwich. I think we need more beer for this.
Listen, if you're going to be an obese singer-songwriter named Mama Cass, you can't go out like that.
Well, they had that song where they sing about everybody's getting fat except Mama Cass.
Did they do?
She's already fat.
The only song they had was California Dreamin'.
No, they had a lot more songs. I have a best of somewhere around here.
The best of is one track.
No, it's not.
And the B-side is the same track radio edit.
I'll be honest. If I had to pick a band like that was like a whole bunch of male and female singers, Fleetwood Mac was way better.
Fleetwood Mac is one male and one female singer.
No, it's not.
And you know how... What the fuck's her name?
Are you talking about...
What's that?
She
The
sang
girl
with Tom
from
Petty.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, she sang with Tom Petty.
Why
God.
is that what you're referencing for the girl from Fleetwood Mac?
Because I love
She
that
had a
song.
solo career.
She did, didn't she?
Landslide.
But that's a Fleetwood Mac song.
It's a Smashing Pumpkins song. What the hell was her
The
name?
world is a landslide.
What? Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks, thank you.
How she died.
She didn't die.
Turkey sandwich.
Cocaine overdose. Anyway.
What's the dude's name from Fleetwood Mac?
Mick Fleetwood?
No. Well, yes. The guy, Lindsey Buckingham.
Oh. What?
Another ham sandwich. No. Lindsey Buckingham was the guy.
His name wasn't Lindsey.
Yes, it was. Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. They put out the solo album Buckingham Nicks. It was critically successful but commercially panned. And then they joined Fleetwood Mac.
You know, it's delightful. No. I prefer The Chain. The Chain is a great song because it has that part with the bass.
The only Fleetwood Mac song is Landslide.
No.
Was that a Stevie Nicks solo song?
No, it was. Oh my God.
Making changes, but I will not change for you.
Oh my God.
Times make you bolder, and the children get older.
We've been gone way too long. I think that's what the problem here is.
I just got to get it all out, man.
For the audience.
What's your favorite type of lunch meat sandwich? All right, we got to get back. We have turned away so many listeners by now.
I know, everyone's like,
somebody's like, hey, wow, look at that. I remember them vaguely. They were decent. Oh, no.
I almost dropped an F-bomb right there.
I almost dropped my ham sandwich.
All right.
That's enough of this.
Enough about the damn ham sandwiches. God.
Okay.
There's...
What in the Lord's name were we talking about?
What show are we even doing anymore? Addams Family. So we were talking about how Uncle Fester had a Stimpy vibe to him.
Yes. And he enjoyed the masochism.
He is a masochist.
Yes. When you were doing research, did you read anything about the theme song for this show?
Oh, it's the original theme song.
Yes, but who performed it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, jump back on that phone and Wikipedia. Because I think it was Tony the Tiger. It sounds just like him.
It could have been. Norman Myers, other characters, production.
How would Droopy Dog perform the Addams Family theme song?
They're creepy.
It
says nothing about
terrible.
the
That was a
theme
terrible
song.
Droopy Dog.
Oh,
I'm cutting that out.
With a re-recorded, it just says with a basso profundo lead.
Well, then it wasn't that guy. Cause fun fact, the Tony the Tiger guy was briefly a backstage announcer for WCW.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I mean, he was also the guy who sang the song in The Grinch.
Yeah.
One, Mr. Grinch.
That guy's dead.
He actually is.
That guy's dead.
Rip.
Like this podcast was before we brought it back. Took the ham sandwich right out of its mouth. So the theme song totally sounds like it's being sung by Tony the Tiger. I thought it was great.
I did too. I liked the whole thing.
I liked it better than the TV show theme. I think the deeper voice sounds cooler.
It does. Like the original TV show's theme song is definitely more 60s-ish sitcom-y.
Well, that makes sense because it was a 60s sitcom.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It aired on the BBC.
So let's open this episode up with the creepy, Addams Family mansion, and
I want to touch base on some more of the character designs super quick. Gomez looks exactly like Peter Lorre.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only note.
Okay then.
Oh, and the character. It would have been cool if they took the character designs from the original cartoons. I don't think it wouldn't have been too much of a stretch. But like if you look, the original Gomez is like very rotund, and
oh, he is, isn't he? It's been a while since I looked because I had them on my computer that I totally legally purchased.
I have a little book.
You have a little book?
I have a little book. Picked it up with some Mad Magazine paperbacks.
It's subtle humor. It's not like It's
not subtle.
It's not.
There's puns and everybody's. The one I remember is somebody's tied to a train tracks. There's like puns. I don't know. That comic is super old though. It's from like the fucking
20s and 30s.
Yeah, the way back machine.
The Wayback Machine.
To find my old Angel Fire website.
I had one of those too. I don't even remember
dude,
what it was
every
about.
time I saw Angel Fire when I was a shit, did I? Okay. I probably fucked that up. Oh shit!
No,
the change jar.
All right, I'll put them in for you. Give me the quarters. Thank you. 1, 2, 3.
At the end of the season, everything collected in the change jar will be donated to a charity of my choice, and the charity I choose is the jar full of change at Tim's place.
I use it to buy food.
He uses it to buy cigarettes.
Shh.
What the hell?
The Tim Fund. The human. He donates everything collected into the swear jar is actually donated to the Human Fund.
Yeah, Tim's a human. That's why he gets the fund. Where did we steal that joke from?
Seinfeld.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Because remember George Costanza's fake. Oh my God, we are getting way off topic. So the episode opens with like a lightning bolt and the Addams Family mansion.
They're eating dinner.
And they're eating dinner, which is a charred tree stump.
Yeah.
With termite dressing.
Is that what it... Mm-hmm. I don't remember. I was just like, is that a steak or what?
I didn't even take notes. I remember that crap.
You watched it 15 minutes ago.
That's true.
Yeah, the kids are eating soup. Gomez is eating the tree stump.
Yeah.
He's having trouble cutting into it, obviously.
Well, don't worry. He doesn't have trouble cutting into it later.
Yes.
He compliments Lurch about his ability to char a tree stump. And then they wax philosophical on what's going on with Uncle Fester, because Uncle Fester hasn't been seen for a while.
He's locked himself in the basement.
And the last time they saw him, he had staked himself to the anthills, but his screams weren't in it. And his cackle of maniacal laughter wasn't there either. Suddenly there's a rumble, a shake, a tumble.
Did you skip past the books in the soup?
I did skip past the books in the soup.
The kids pull out books from their soup. What is the book? Something about mimes?
Yeah, it's Channeling Mimes.
Yeah, Channeling Mimes Volumes 1 and 2.
And Grandma can hear the mimes speak through her.
I need the mime books. So she's just miming in the corner.
So Wednesday has Volume 1 in her soup, and Pugsley has Volume 2 in his soup.
Yes, and by the way, if you enjoy this scene of the Addams Family all together in this cartoon, savor it, because for the majority of it, Gomez and Morticia are just not there.
Yeah, in fact, Gomez disappears really, really soon in the episode.
To jump ahead, I thought this was a horrible first episode of a show. Like, you need to have something with the whole family doing something. Somebody comes into their house and it's like, whoa, it's weird. Like something... This whole episode takes place outside of the Addams Family environment, and it's super weird.
Yeah, although they did keep the colorful Addams Family house.
Yes.
Because a lot of people think... Because the movies kind of made the place look macabre and very gloomy and stuff like that. But if you ever saw a color picture of the actual Addams Family house from the original TV show, it's pinks and blues and purples everywhere. It's a colorful place.
Yeah, but the original show's in black and white, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it was meant to be a very colorful place and very bizarre and weird. You know, it's not supposed to be like a macabre, spooky thing. So that's one of the main differences, I think, between the Addams Family from the movie and this Addams Family, and even the Addams Family from the original series. Is the Addams Family from the original series are come into our home, and everybody's like, wow, look at this place, and it's not creepy, it's just weird. But in the movie,
it kooky?
It's kooky.
Is it mysterious and spooky?
Yes.
Also,
it's altogether ooky, if you ask me.
Does Gomez refer to Morticia as Tish in the TV show?
Yes.
Okay. I thought that was weird.
He says Tish in the movie and Tish in the TV show and Tish in the cartoon.
All right, then.
I almost said Tiff. That's my ex-wife. And we aren't going to bring her up this episode.
I think you should put something in the swear jar for that. Ex-wife.
Fair.
There you go.
That was my food fund for the month. Thanks.
You'll get it back eventually.
Yeah, when I reach the grocery shopping line in it.
Okay, so Uncle Fester bursts through the floor.
Yes, after an explosion.
Yes.
And then he's like, I did it. I invented something. And then he goes, wait a second. He goes back down, and then there's a second explosion. And he's like, I had to go down. I didn't want to miss the aftershock or whatever.
Yes, he's very masochistic.
Yes, so he pulls out a piece of paper and he shows it to Gomez. And Gomez is like, I can't read this, old man. And so Fester, of course, puts on a helmet with a light bulb on the top to be powered by his skull.
I thought that was the invention at first. I was like, oh, let me help you put on this light bulb.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Turns out the invention was some sort of fabric.
He calls it Happy Ester.
Happy Ester.
It's self-cleaning, bulletproof, and it goes great with dip.
Yep.
There's another thing that it does, but we'll talk about that later.
Well, spoiler alert, for God's sakes.
Oh, God. Let's spoil a 30-year-old cartoon. Sorry.
Not 30 years old. It's 26 years old.
27.
Turning 27 this year. This
Oh,
came out in
happy
September.
birthday, Addams Family.
It's a month older than I am.
Oh, my God. I was in second grade.
So...
I was in second grade.
Uncle Fester tells us all this information about his new material without actually having shown it to us. And then Gomez does some quick math and he says, hey, this is extremely cheap to produce.
Well, he probably looked at the formula on the paper and was like, okay, let's see how cheap this is. And he's like, he rang it up.
But like, why would that be his first thought? He's not like a entrepreneur. He's not like a businessman on the show, right?
No, not really.
So like, what the hell?
We don't know where the Addams Family fortune comes from.
He shouldn't own an adding machine.
Why not?
Why?
They
He's
have
not
a
some
moose head that
banker.
talks.
Should he have one of those stupid poker visors?
He should have
too?
had one of those on. That would have made it.
That would have been good.
It would have been like in the old Looney Tunes cartoons whenever they put
That,
an
yeah,
adding
that
machine.
would have added to the gag. But anyway, he's like, oh, this stuff is super cheap to produce. They immediately go over to their neighbor's house, who is some underwear magnate.
Yeah, he runs what the hell is it called?
Niedermeyer.
Norman Meyer.
Norman Meyer. Mr. Norman Meyer and his fantabulous underwear.
His underwear corporation, yes.
This city that they live in has two major underwear suppliers in it.
Yeah, Rumpco and Norman Meyer underwear, whatever. Norman Wear, that's what it's called, Norman Wear.
Yes.
So they're like trying to pitch this fabric over to him, and you don't want to hear it. To the point where he takes his.
Wait, no, I have some criticisms.
Okay, have at it.
I have some criticisms.
It's a very tart beer.
It's a sour.
It's delightful though.
Yeah, it's super good. It's got lime and ginger and mint in it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, but when I took that first sip, my brain went, "Yeah, you like that."
Yeah, it's super summery.
Mm-hmm.
But Mr. Norman Meyer hears them coming, and he's like, "Oh no, it's those dreadful Addamses."
Yeah.
He's super upset. They knock on his door, and he's like, "Oh, they touched the door. Now it's ruined." He unscrews the door and replaces it while they're still at it. Like, why wouldn't you wait till they're gone to replace the door?
Yeah.
Like, they're just going to touch this one again.
Yeah, and they're on the sidewalk, too.
Well, he says he's just going to hose off the sidewalk. The sidewalk's fine.
That's fair.
Their ink, their goo will seep into the wooden door.
While they're still standing out there, though, Fester, of course, takes a finger of dust off the door and puts it in his mouth because he's Fester, I guess.
Yes. So, this is the scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Norman Meyer, who absolutely hates the Addams family and everything to do with them, invites them into his home. The Addamses say, we have this fabric that's super great and it's super cheap. Without asking for a sample of it or any additional information, Mr. Norman Myers immediately believes, like, oh my God, this is $1 billion idea, and tries to buy it off Fester. He tries to add Fester to his company, like, you will be a partner and we will produce this with the thing, and here's a contract to sign for super cheap. He's trying to rip off of Uncle Fester, but he's not asking to see the stuff. It's like, I got a bridge in Brooklyn, buddy.
Yeah.
I got a bridge in Brooklyn, buddy. I got a ham sandwich in California, buddy.
I feel like I could have gone to him with a pretend $1 billion idea and gotten $771.
Yeah, like, how successful can this guy possibly be if he's just like, oh, here's a contract, and here's a contract for your magic beans.
What do I remember from the series, though? He's an idiot.
Is that a character from the TV show?
No, from the cartoon.
Oh. Oh, did you watch this when you were growing up?
Yeah.
You remember this? Oh, shit.
I was in second grade, bro. This was on Saturday morning.
Really?
Yeah, this is a Saturday morning cartoon. I used to watch this religiously.
It only existed for a year.
Yeah. For a year, I watched it religiously. Then I watched it in reruns.
I did it religiously for a year, like a girl in college going through phases. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual.
I'm not gay, but I do like to sleep with girls. LGBT plus community.
Oh,
I don't judge
Mr. Norman Meyer totally sounds like, speaking of Don Knotts.
Oh my God. No, not Don Knotts.
Don Knotts crossed with Roger from American Dad. That's what I have.
Roger.
Oh, fuck. Who's that guy from... Oh, put it in the swear jar.
Oh my God, you're killing me.
He was always on those 70s game shows.
He was on Hollywood Squares all the time.
Yes. Oh.
And he always argued with that old lady. Oh, Charles Nelson Riley.
Charles Nelson Riley. That's
Charles
who
Nelson
Mr.
Riley.
Norman Meyer sounds like. Charles Nelson Riley.
You know, Charles Nelson Riley won the Tour de France with 2 flat tires and a broken chain.
That's probably not accurate.
It's a Weird Al song.
Is it?
He tried to start a trend with Charles Nelson Riley, kind of like Chuck Norris kind of thing. With
What
him.
song is that?
It's called CNR.
What album was that off of?
That's off of Mandatory Fun.
Oh.
You didn't like Mandatory Fun?
I honestly never checked it out.
It's
I heard
not
the
bad.
singles. That's it.
It's not bad. Well, it was a single on YouTube. He did a whole. There's a YouTube video for it. You'll have to check it out later.
I will.
I'll always plug Weird Al because Weird Al is one of my first musical loves in life.
Weird Al's the man.
He is. Weird Al, if you happen to hear this podcast, we love you.
If I rank my influences, it goes Spike Lee and then Weird Al.
Chris Farley, John Candy, John Belushi, Weird Al. Anyway, notice I named 3 fat guys right in a row.
Yeah, I don't know why you got specific like that.
Huh?
I'm just kidding.
No.
Let's not dwell on it.
I'm just gonna go ahead and munch some trail mix while you're talking there.
Some ham sandwich trail mix.
There's no. Oh, there is ham in this. It's really good. Have some.
Eventually, when we're not recording, because I'm a goddamn professional. So he promises Uncle Fester this huge VP position in his company, and Uncle Fester's like, I don't know, that doesn't really sound that great.
Well, and he's like,
I'll think about it.
yeah, let me see. Let me get a lay of the land before we sign anything. So
Yeah.
the next day they all meet up. Well, so it's Uncle Fester, Pugsley, and Wednesday,
And Thing.
and Thing at the factory.
Yes.
So Norman Meyer comes out and he's all like, "Oh, I'm gonna make you VP. This place is great." And Uncle Fester's like, "Well, actually, if you need a speed bump, I'd rather do that." And he lays down
just
and
lays
causes
down
an
in the
accident.
Parking lot.
So then they cut to Rumpco, with
Yes,
the
the
evil,
competitor.
yeah, with the
Now, I was writing notes while this scene was going on. Were there 2 guys there?
Yes.
One evil guy and then the henchman guy?
yes,
Both voiced by Jim Cummings.
really.
Yes. You didn't notice the Jim Cummings voice? The man has the most recognizable voice in
I'm
animation.
running off of 3 hours of sleep due to events last night out of my control.
Jim Cummings, you might know him as Winnie the Pooh, Cat from Cat Dog.
Yep. Wait, he was Cat from Cat Dog?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Now I can hear it in my head.
Yeah, that
Right?
screechy, yeah. He was also in Chalk Zone. I don't remember the name.
I mean, if I had to pick a voice actor that's gonna play a bad guy,
Skrull. I think his name was Skrull. Skrull, yeah, in Chalk Zone.
Wait, was he in the Conan cartoon,
I don't know. I don't even remember.
or was that Frank Welker?
It was probably Frank Welker because Jim Cummings came along later. Conan was like 70s, right?
No, that was like an mid 90s cartoon. Remember the rise of fantasy cartoons in the early 90s I was telling you guys about?
No.
You guys, as if.
Hello, guys. Are you ready for the summer? Are you ready for the good time?
Anyway, was it Frank Welker? I think it was Frank Welker in that crow. Listen, if you want to know if it's Frank Welker, and I'm sure we would have mentioned it, you should go back and listen to our Conan the Barbarian podcast, because that was one I got into.
Yeah, I don't remember what we normally say to plug the podcast, like what the actual things are.
Oh, you don't remember where we can be found on Gmail?
Yeah, I use that Gmail to sign up for free trials and stuff.
Yeah, when have you ever actually checked that Gmail?
I checked it a couple times.
Do we have any listener emails?
No.
Just
But if you want to
confirmation.
send us a listener email, it's witacartoon. Is it?
Yeah.
At gmail.com. Send us a letter.
Tell us that you listen to us, please. Or you can go to our Facebook page.
Yep.
Yep.
I think that's also at witacartoon.
Yeah, I think so too. I could check Facebook right now.
I don't know. But yeah, Frank Welker and Jim Cummings
Are the two best, I think. The most iconic.
Yeah, Jim Cummings was also Tigger in The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. He was also Winnie the Pooh.
Yes.
He took over for we can't waste any more time trying to remember garbage.
Yeah, we really can't. We're running long on this one anyway. So, okay.
We're not even we're really not.
We're not?
Yeah.
Time's just not flying for me?
We're like 20-something minutes in.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay, so anyway. So he's like, I'm going to get a hold of that formula or I'm going to take Fester out of the picture. And then the henchman picks up the biggest rubber stamp I've ever seen. And
Sterling Holloway
was
the original voice of Winnie the Pooh.
Okay. Why do you have to do things like that?
I had to know. I had to know.
I'm just going to sit here and play with my robots until you decide to behave yourself.
You're going to play with any lunch foods?
Yes. I'm going to play with some salami.
Ah! Curses foiled again.
So they take a giant rubber stamp that's got like the cross out symbol, whatever you call that, like the no smoking sign has.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they put it over Fester's face. And then we cut to this opulent executive suite office thing inside the Norman Ware.
Oh, wait. The whole reason we were talking about Jim Cummings is because the bad guy and his henchmen were like, we got to kill that guy.
Yeah. Good to see you're back with us. Normally, I'm the one that does this. What's going on? Our dynamic has changed, and I don't like it. I don't think the listeners are going to like it either.
At this point, my note is the reveal, when they finally reveal Happy Esther, it's going to be a dud.
Yeah.
I was predicting. I was right.
You were right. So Fester's like, I don't really like this. This is not really my thing, but I like that office downstairs. Which office downstairs?
The broom closet.
It's a broom closet.
So they're all mucking about in the broom closet.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Uncle Fester go when...
Into the pipes.
Yes, he crawls into the
vents.
pipes, and then the hired goon...
Well, we missed something. Fester's list of...
Oh. He's like, yes, Fester says, I will join this company if you meet my list of demands. It's like 1 billion pages long.
Yeah, it's really long. And then the henchman shows up, and he sets traps outside the door after Norman Meyer leaves.
Yes. So that Norman Meyer goes... Oh, yeah. Norman Meyer goes to fulfill the list.
Mm-hmm.
And then the henchman guy shows up. His name is Fingers.
Yep. And he sets a bunch of bear traps outside.
Yes.
Fester leaves to go say something to Norman Meyer. He sees the traps on the ground. He's like, oh my god, I can't believe we got to 98 so quickly.
Yes, he's very excited about the bear traps.
And he goes out and he sets them all off. And Fingers is excited. He's like, yeah, I got him. He turns around and he sees Fester laughing and joyous about it and walk back into the room and slam the door.
I thought there were going to be a few of those moments.
Mm-hmm.
Where like he tries to cut him and like, oh, darn it. He likes it, weirdo.
Yeah, that would have been great.
That's not what happened.
Ask me that with the mouthful of trail mix, you fucker. Anyway,
Fester, nobody told you to eat during the recording.
that's fair.
Fester crawls into the pipes,
Mm-hmm.
and then the thug, whose name is Fingers, shows up. He's just this big hulking dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kids try to stop him.
Yeah.
He dispatches of them handily.
Yes.
Unintended.
Well, actually, no. First thing he does is pushes him out of the way.
Yes.
And he goes out to go after Fester in the vents, and Pugsley looks at Wednesday and goes, "Did you get his wallet?" And a whole bunch of other stuff too. She has like the transmitter, his wallet, a whole bunch of things. And they look at his wallet and they see the Rumpco.
Yes,
ID
his
badge.
henchman card.
Yeah.
It literally says like Rumpco Assassin or something.
Yeah. Underwear assassin. That's what it says.
Yes.
Underwear hitman.
Yes.
Specifically, yes, that's what it is. And like, oh no, this could get this.
Yes,
Professor's in trouble.
They discover that he's a bad man.
Yes. Yeah, that's some good trail mix, isn't it?
I'm just eating the candy out of it.
You fucker. Oh, gosh darn it. Maybe say the F word. I'm running out of change.
Keep talking. I'm molesting your trail mix.
Okay, so, ow. I just hit my... Yeah, that's just going to pick up on the mic.
Yep.
That's fine.
Oh, it's delicious.
It is delicious.
You know, M&M. They did somebody did a study or whatever, and discovered that M&Ms are the candy that makes your breath smell the worst.
Really?
Yeah. I always thought about that ever since.
How does it make your breath smell? No, let's not get into that and get back on this episode of the Addams
Top
Family.
5 candies that make your mouth smell. Dude, somebody gave me fried banana chips at work today. Tasted just like Banana Runs, but then afterwards, my mouth, the taste in my mouth was like a dead banana.
Oh.
One of the bananas in pajamas bricked in my mouth. That's what it felt. Eating it was enjoyable, but afterward, and knowing that,
why do we even watch cartoons for this podcast?
Knowing that health food garbage, it was probably $45 for the bag, so yeah. I would never touch it again.
See, I like plantain chips personally because they can be salted and be savory tasting.
Never had a plantain.
I like plantains. I like a lot of stuff like that, though.
Fun fact: they're actually closer in relation to the potato than the banana.
Yes, that is absolutely true. They just look like bananas.
Yeah, you fry them up.
Mm-hmm.
Serve them up with a nice ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Mama Cass is just in the corner salivating.
Oh my God. What's wrong with us? Anyway, so he puts the kids up on a...
he hangs them on a coat hook.
Yep, and
then Thing comes to the rescue.
And he shoves him into a glove.
Shoves him into a glove. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was great.
He put him in a glove and hung him on a coat hook.
Gag of the episode.
Yeah. Unfortunately. There isn't really a line of the episode, though.
No. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible show.
Terrible.
It was awful.
It wasn't awful. It was just not what my childhood memories remember it being.
So, Fingers gets Uncle Fester.
Yep.
Ties him up.
Yep.
And then he's like, I work for the competitor, Rumpco.
Yeah.
And he's like, aren't you the guys where every underwear comes with a free gift? He's like, yes. You want a shoe?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that.
Well, then he's like...
I didn't understand the shoe thing.
Because it was a free gift that came with a pair of underwear.
Why did it have to be a shoe?
Because it's a random thing to come with a pair of underwear.
You want a hammer?
Do you want a ham sandwich? Anyway, if I found a ham sandwich in my package, oh my God, why do I have to keep saying that word? Anyway, that combination of words. So yeah.
So Uncle Fester is all ready to sell out to Rumpco.
And then Wednesday's like, no, don't do it. I'll give you the formula.
Yes.
So she starts like...
At first, because Uncle Fester's about to tell him, and then Wednesday's like, no, don't tell him. And then immediately she's like, I'll tell you. I was like, was there a commercial break there or something?
No.
She flips.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? Turns out, she's like, here's the formula. And this guy pulls a chemistry set out of somewhere.
Yeah, she's like...
He's just ready to make this fabric. I don't know why mixing chemicals together makes fabric, number one.
Don't ask me, man. Nice. Ooh. Anyway. So she's naming off all these, she's like xylene,
magnesium,
margarine,
tungsten,
nitroglycerin,
OxyClean.
Yeah. But then she gets the nitroglycerin and Pugs is like, yeah. So he dumps it in, and the set explodes in front of him. But at the same time, the main bad guy
he's on the phone, and he's mixing his own chemistry set, so they both blow up.
Yeah, so he's like, what was that last thing?
What was that last one?
Nitroglycerin, then boom, and the Rumpco building blows up.
Yeah. Evil is punished.
Yep, and then Norman Meyer comes back, and Fester's like, don't worry about my demands. Here's the formula. He hands him a bucket with the formula written on the side. So then Norman Meyer kicks him out of the plant. Yes,
he's got what he's wanted, and Uncle Fester is
effectively kicked out of the plant.
Useless to him at this point.
Yes.
So now we finally get back to the Addams Family home with Morticia and Gomez.
And Fester's really depressed.
Yeah. Gomez cheers him up, and then we cut to a news report. It says, oh, the new underwear by Norman Meyer Underwear Company.
Yeah, Norman Wear.
Causes people to itch uncontrollably.
And people are screaming on the TV, and it's delightful.
Yeah, so that's the payoff for the magical fabric thing, which I thought it was weak.
It was.
Could have been better.
But Fester is so happy to see people itching in his underwear, and then Norman Meyer comes over to yell at Fester about it. And I don't remember why, but they decide to dance. And they do decide to dance at the end of every episode, by the way.
Do they do it at every episode? I was going to ask.
They do like the pork bump or something like that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he comes over and Fester thinks he's over there to celebrate, so they dance, and then the episode's over. The fact that every episode ends with a dance break makes me feel a little better. When I just saw that, I was like, what kind of cop out is this? It's terrible.
Oh, I'd like that. So, yeah, and that's pretty much the end of the episode.
Evil's punished.
Evil is punished. The Addams family lives on.
And
All
Fester
hail the
got
Addams
his
family.
$500.
Yep.
Allegedly.
So,
Tim, what did you think? Did this deserve to be a cartoon?
You know what? Yes. I'm going to say yes, it deserved to be a cartoon. The Addams Family works across genres. The only thing I can't see the Addams Family being is a radio play.
You know what? I saw the Broadway musical starring Nathan Lane.
And?
It was great.
Was it?
I loved it.
Was it like Spamalot great?
I never saw Spamalot, but
Spamalot is really good.
It was just like one of those musicals that they make for the tourists to come see. So it was fun. This was years ago. But
well,
yeah,
it had Nathan Lane in it. So.
It had Nathan Lane and not Angelica Houston, but some other Broadway broad.
I mean, I would go see it just because Nathan Lane's in it. I think he's a fantastic actor.
He's the man.
He is.
But this is not the Nathan Lane podcast. That's our other show. You'll have to subscribe to our Patreon if you want to hear that. Just kidding. Yeah, Addams Family. I think it totally works as a cartoon. The characters are ripe for it. There's so many good situations. This was a horrible first episode of a cartoon.
If you keep watching,
that was my issue.
I'm pretty sure if we were to sit down one day and just binge all 21 episodes.
Yeah, I'm sure there's solid content there.
There's plenty,
but like this is not how you introduce people to the Addams Family.
Yeah,
this is like episode 5.
It is because we split the family up and then you don't see half the family anyway.
Yeah, there's no Gomez or Morticia. Like they're not even there.
Yeah,
I think the episode is fine. I don't think it's great for a kid show. It's fine. Yeah. Whatever.
As far as deserving to be cartoon, absolutely yes.
It works. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's all we have. I don't have any.
You don't have any ideas for a cartoon? No.
And I don't think you do either, right?
The Munsters.
The Munsters, yeah.
Why not?
Well.
The Munsters animated series. That's what I got for you guys. Sorry.
So we're gonna
anybody who like one day in the distant future when we're super famous and they binge our podcast and they start at the beginning are just gonna be really confused as to why this episode is so different from all the other ones.
No, they won't, because we say at the beginning we were gone for a long time.
We were.
But we're gonna land this plane. This was the Addams Family cartoon. This is our triumphant return to the podcasting world. And for the Wise Cartoon Cast, I'm Joey.
And I'm Tim.
And we'll see you next time. Hopefully it won't be 6 months from now.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that. It's right here. I feel like getting